So the Tarkingtons is one of the founding families of North Carolina, and we're going to start from the immigrant ancestor. Came in through Maryland, right? Married Prudence, moved to Albemarle Sound in North Carolina in 1694. Got his documented children. You see John Jr., William, Samuel, Joshua, Zebulon. One unnamed infant mentioned only in later family lore, no historical documentation. Now, that family lore is not the family in which I'm showing you now. I want you to know we've been hijacked, and I'm going to prove it. The captured infant story is not historical. Okay, very good. Let's go. Joshua Tarkington Sr., born in the 1700s. He lived in Terrell County, right? He had children. Oh, okay. Joshua Jr. is my line. Generation 3, Joshua Tarkington Jr. He married Zephia, still in Terrell, right? Had Joshua the third. That's my line. Oh, what does it say here? It says the frontier books. Oh, what? Whoa, let's back that up right quick. It says the frontier books insert a Jessie here, but no Terrell County records support his existence. A bit about this Reverend Joseph Tarkington from a fictitious uh, father from my family's line. Says Joseph Tarkington was born near Nashville, Tennessee on October 30th, 1800. Tarkington's ideas about religion and life were developed on the Tennessee frontier. He developed a hatred of any form of alcoholic beverage. He also acquired a compassion towards African Americans and a hatred of slavery. Isn't that ironic? You just take their whole lineage, though. That's great. At the time of Joseph's birth, John Adams was president of the United States, and it was a time of great uncertainty. The economy was suffering, and the possibility of war with both France and England lurked in the background. From the start of the new nation, it was in a state of chaos and appeared to be doomed to failure. However, many evangelical religious groups made immense gains during this period. I bet they did. I don't want to read any more about that. Um, let's see what's going on here. Here's something else. Most settlers are Most settlers who had moved to the interior had done so to acquire land for farming. Families like the Tarkingtons were not aimless drifters. Bruce holds that they were people who thought by leaving their old farms and starting afresh in a new territory, they could achieve a measure of success and security. Mind you, this imposter, that's Cap. That's Cap right there. But let's see what he's saying. This is his story. All right. The Tarkingtons were among the small farmers referred to as the Southern Plain folk, who owned no slaves or, at most, a few. Again, this is his story, not the truth. People were moving to the west and the south in such large numbers that by the end of the 18th century, 25 of every 100 acres had been stripped of forest in the state of Virginia. It says, crowded off the best lands, plain folk tended to be congregated in particular neighborhoods, even though they lived throughout the South. All right, we'll just take that with a grain, right? We'll take that with a grain. Now it's going to get interesting. It says the first Tarkington to immigrate to America from England was John Tarkington, who settled in Maryland with his wife, Prudence, about 1668. John and Prudence were Joseph Tarkington's great great grandparents. They had three sons upon arriving in America: John Jr., William, and Samuel. The Tarkingtons secured 1,050 acres of land from Lord of Baltimore on September 7, 1675, in Cecil County on the Sassafras River. In the early 1690s, the Tarkingtons moved to North Carolina. On March 1st, 1694, the North Carolina colonial records revealed that John Tarkington had secured 180 acres of land referred to as Tarkington's Quarter. The land was on Albemarle Sound in the present-day Terrell County. However, John was convicted of an unnamed felony and forfeited the land. In spite of losing their land, the Tarkingtons remained in Terrell County. Just before moving to North Carolina, John and Prudence had two more sons. One was named Joshua, and that's the line that, I'm from. And the other son's name is Unknown. The unknown boy, okay, there's more cap. The unknown boy was kidnapped by Indians shortly after the move, as the two boys were hunting strayed cows. He was never heard from again. Okay. Joshua Tarkington Sr., Joseph's great-grandfather, married early in the 18th century and fathered three sons: William, Joshua Jr., again, that's the line, right? And Zebulon. Joshua Jr. was Joseph Tarkington's grandfather. Joshua Tarkington Jr. and his wife, Zelphia Alexander, lived their entire lives in Terrell County, North Carolina, and were the parents, now this is the interesting part now, and were the parents of six sons: Richard, Joseph, Isaac, John, William, and Jessie, Joseph's father, and one daughter, Elizabeth.